Gen Z's too flaky, too woke, and they don't want to do any work.
Do you think they just sort of want to be liked?
Stylists and bosses are too easygoing, thinking that they're doing it for the benefit of their team, but actually not. I mean, they're actually just giving themselves an easy life.
What time do I get to leave? How much holiday do I get? Is every generation between like teenage to mid-20s, are they all a bit entitled? I think we can all sort of prejudge a bit too soon, and sometimes it's quite nice to be proven wrong. Hello, I'm Michael Van Clarke. Welcome to my podcast. Today we're joined by Mitchell Scott again.
Hello. You are Gen Z, and there are a lot of people would say that, well, Gen Z's too flaky, too woke, and they don't want to do any work. Age of entitlement. I certainly don't see you in that way, but what do you feel when you hear older people say that?
It's hard. I mean, I suppose it's hard for me to talk about the generations before us, because I don't know whether it's just an age thing, or whether is every generation at between like teenage to mid-20s, are they all a bit entitled? Were they all a bit entitled? I don't know. It's hard for me to say. But there's definitely, I mean, because I was doing some of the academy stuff,
sure, and
hiring a lot of the juniors, and a lot of them were my age, maybe a bit younger, some older, but a lot of them would say things like, so what, why should I work here? What is it that you can provide to me? What's the benefits of working here for me? And rather than sort of saying, I can't wait to start. What do you need me to do? How do you need me to dress? What is it that I can do to be busy? Or
what are the hours?
So what time do I get to leave? How much holiday do I get? Do I get paid for holiday? Do I get sick pay? It's all a bit sort of like, what's the benefit for me to work here? And I think at that age, they haven't really got anything to offer, because they don't really know anything. So it should all be about it should all be about them coming to us, being open to learning, wanting to be busy, which occasionally you get. You get some juniors that would rather sit around and hide and do nothing, and then you have some that get upset that they're not busy enough. They feel like they're being a bit useless, and I think they're the good ones. The ones that sort of want to be running around, shampooing every client, cleaning stuff. They're the sort of juniors we look for.
I wonder if it's sometimes parents as well that are fearful of their kids being exploited and don't see it as a artistic creative profession that you develop into, and compare it to a job. A job's 9 to 5. What do you mean you start earlier than that? And, a job is at 5 o'clock you go home. Well, what if the client's not finished till 10 past? So there are these sort of conflicts, and I think it's maybe their understanding that's been fed to them that they're comparing it just to an ordinary job. Rather than a career that they're going to own and drive themselves.
My parents, I definitely had I'm Gen Z, but I had a very traditional upbringing. My parents have worked forever. They had my brother when they were teenagers.
Right.
And then, I think under 30, they had 3 kids. So they were very used to just working very hard. And when I said to my parents about leaving sixth form, they said, well, unless you have something to go right into, you're not leaving, because you're not sitting around the house. They just wouldn't have it. And they never moaned about like the amount of hours to do. I mean, there was points when I was doing, if there was a show on a Sunday or something, I'd work 7 days. And never once did my parents say to me, oh, you're working too hard. It just isn't in them. It just wasn't the way I was brought up. So I think that sort of set me up. It was a certain mentality of just like, get out and go and do something. And maybe not everyone has that.
And do you think, even in the time that you were recruiting for the academy, you've helped with recruiting to some degree now. I mean, that started just before COVID or during. and now we have now. Do you find it more difficult, or it's the same in terms of the applicants and the type of applicants?
Probably the same. But over the last 5 years, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's always been a bit of a struggle to find. I don't know if it has always been a struggle to find people that are willing to work, but it definitely has been for the last 5 years.
I think, going back further, 40 plus years, I don't think it's ever been easy to find the right good people. But if you look, you find them.
Yeah.
But they're never just there in huge numbers. Not for what we want, anyway. And we're looking for attitude mainly. I think if someone really wants to learn and they are good with people, it's easier to teach the technical skills and develop them into that way. But if someone's actually not great with people and doesn't feel comfortable around people, it's even if they have technical ability, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
I find,
because I boxed when I was young.
Oh yes,
and
yeah.
Even when I was in the salon, I was boxing up until I was about 18.
Yeah.
So, and I was doing that 3-4 nights a week. Every other night I was running. So yeah, that was my upbringing. My dad. If I got home from school and I couldn't be bothered, and I just said, I can't be bothered to do it today, I don't want to go, he'd say, I don't care.
Yeah.
Get up. We're going. And that was it. And at the time, it was really annoying, really frustrating, because all I wanted to do was sort of mope around. But they never allowed me to. And now that I'm older, and now that I'm working, I see how important it is.
Yeah.
I won't be any different. When I have kids, it's going to be the same. I'm glad that they gave me some sort of structure and were quite regimented.
Yeah.
Sundays we'd wake up. If he thought it was too late, then he'd wake us up and we'd get dressed and we'd go out and do something.
But that's really your parents being prepared for conflict and obviously thinking, well, actually, it's more important that he does this than I go through a hard time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that follows in the world of work as well. I think a lot of stylists and bosses are too easygoing, thinking that they're doing it for the benefit of their team, but actually not. I mean, they're actually just giving themselves an easy life.
Yeah. Do you think they just sort of want to be liked?
Yeah, I think it's a problem if that's. Yeah, I mean, if that is the number one aim, then you're gonna be too easy on people to their detriment.
Yeah. My parents were never bothered about being liked.
Yeah.
That wasn't their concern, which makes me like them more now.
Yeah,
actually.
It's a bit like I've had loads of clients tell me that their grown-up children have complained to them about the parents allowing them to give up, say, piano or something. And I mean, I know with my kids, you get them to do these things, and there's a lot of resistance. And you get to the point where you think, is it worth, carrying on with this when they are just so resistant to doing something? But I think, the ones that do see it through appreciate that they were, encouraged to carry on.
Yeah.
Not always.
No.
But, I think that sort of leadership to support and develop people and just push them through the difficulties.
Yeah. Well, I was quite lucky to then go into your salon and help you, and because I think when I done the BHBA interview, one of the questions was, has Michael pushed you into doing this? And,
right.
and
is that at your interview?
Yeah, that was one of the questions, and I thought, to some degree, but only for my benefit. Only because it is, of course, good for me to go and do it and enter it. But there's something in all of us, at the back of our heads that's like, no, I don't want to do it because it's scary, or it's something new, or we're sort of self-conscious. And you need a sort of character to sometimes push you into doing something.
Yeah. Firmly encourage, I would say.
We'll say that.
Not push.
No.
Yeah. But there you are, you're up for the finals with a very good chance.
Yeah, what was it that you saw in me? Yeah, why did you choose me? Or was you just sort of, did you just take me on?
I think you have to, it is very much attitude. There has to be a willingness to learn and to, be flexible as well. The apprentice doesn't know what's required, so they have to be willing to be guided and directed at that early stage. A deep wanting to be useful, to add value. I think those are sort of innate qualities. To want to help other people. We're a service industry. If you don't have that empathy for clients, and colleagues too, it's not going to work. It's going to cause too much friction, and clients aren't stupid. They like to feel that you genuinely care about them, that they're not just a bum on a seat. Yeah, it's not a transaction. It's a relationship that should develop, become richer, deeper over time. So, those skills may not be evident at the early stage, but there should be some clues. Yeah. And those are the things we're picking up in those early weeks and months.
Yeah, the longer you do it, the more, I think the faster you see those traits in someone. Yeah. When they come in. I think we can all sort of prejudge a bit too soon. And sometimes it's quite nice to be proven wrong with someone. Sure. When you initially think that the traits aren't there, and then you see them, and it's actually quite a nice feeling.
Yeah, and we never know for sure.
No.
You take a chance with people. You hope your experience gives you a pretty good guide, but we never know for sure.
No.
People are people. You hope for someone that it works out, but you don't know. Yeah. You can put a lot of effort in, and it doesn't work. And I have people say, "Oh, why'd you bother training people when they just leave?" And you say, "Well, if you don't train people, we're not going to have any business anyway." And some people will leave. It won't work with some of them, but as long as it works with enough, then it's worth doing. And for the ones that have left too, many of them in their latter years very respectful of the training they had. Yeah. Even if they didn't quite see it at the time.
Yeah. Maybe that's the way of sort of expanding that knowledge to the greater industry.
Yeah, well, I think going into the BHBA, we looked at our history, and we recognised that we actually know there are 19 salons out there that came from either apprentices or young stylists with us. Yeah, and those are the ones we know about.
Yeah, so who are now teaching the same, more or less.
Some are. Some would have maybe taken shortcuts, but some definitely are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it is. There's definitely been an effect. So that's been very interesting. Let's wrap that up for now. We can continue in a later podcast.
Brilliant.